are being recovered. Beyond that, you've got a big queue of traffic from the M54 down to the M5. That'll take you 30 minutes. West on the M54, traffic's queuing junction 2 Wolverhampton through to junction 3 at Albrighton through the roadworks. If you can update me, call me now 0330 123 3550.
On FM,
Freeview, digital radio
and online.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Oh, man. There's a lot. Zayn Malik, gay cakes, Richard III, mobility scooters and more coming up after the news with Chris Blakemore.
Thank you very much, Ian. Good afternoon. It's been reported in Germany that Andreas Lubitz, the pilot, thought to have deliberately crashed a passenger jet in the French Alps, hid evidence of mental health problems from his employers. Christoph Kumper from the prosecutor's office in Dusseldorf said Mr. Lubitz's flat and his parents' house had been searched and that medical documents had been seized, which pointed to an existing illness and treatment.
Der Umstand, dass dabei unter anderem zerrissene, aktuelle
The fact that the search uncovered torn-up sick notes, current ones, including one for the day of the disaster, supports the assumption that the dead man hid his illness from his employers and colleagues.
150 people died in the crash, including 50-year-old father of two, Martin Matthews from Bushbury in Wolverhampton. Now, a 15-year-old cyclist has died after a collision with a car in Wednesbury last night. A 24-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of causing death by dangerous driving. It happened on Walsall Road in Friar Park at about 20 to 8 last night. The teenager was pronounced dead at the scene. There are warnings that a fake fundraising account has been set up in memory of a Birmingham teenager who died after being hit by a police car earlier this month. 15-year-old Harry Kirkham was crossing a road in Erdington on the 18th of March when it happened. His family says a bogus FundMe internet page has been set up by someone they don't know. Meanwhile, it's emerged that the Independent Police Complaints Commission is investigating the collision. A man who was trapped by vigilantes after trying to groom a teenage girl on the internet has been jailed for 12 months at Newcastle Crown Court today. 57-year-old John Rudd from Stockton thought he was talking to a 14-year-old called Donna, but it was actually a group called Dark Justice. A Birmingham City Councillor has told BBC WM traffic signalling in the city centre needs to change to avoid repeated gridlock. There was an accident on the Aston Expressway and Councillor Victoria Quim, who sits on the Transport and Scrutiny Committee, was one of those caught up in the traffic afterwards last night. Speaking to Adrian Goldberg, she says she was stuck for 2 hours and that something needs to be done.
I do appreciate and sympathise for everyone that's stuck in it. What I have been saying, and indeed I will confess here, that in my stationary vehicle with the engine switched off during those 2 hours yesterday, I indeed was emailing the head of highways to say what on earth is going on with signal control.
An investigation started after 3 raiders in ski masks burst into a private event at a Birmingham swingers club. It happened at the Tudor Lounge Club in Highgate on the 18th of March. A 53-year-old man was punched and was treated for a cut to his nose and a bump to his head. And the Top Gear producer, punched by Jeremy Clarkson in a row over food, says he doesn't want to press charges. North Yorkshire Police say they're still looking into the attack, though. And the weather, a fine day with some sunny spells, highs of 10 Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit. Some showers tonight with the wind picking up, lows of 5 Celsius, 41 Fahrenheit. More rain tomorrow morning, but drying out in the afternoon, very windy, with highs tomorrow of 14 Celsius, 57 Fahrenheit. And if you want to know, Ian, Sunday's going to be quite unsettled.
I couldn't give a monkeys about Sunday.
Why not?
I'm going to be asleep all day. Hey, it's nice out there now, isn't it? Have you been outside?
Isn't it lovely?
Beautiful.
It's like a summer's day.
It's like a summer's day. Yeah.
It's not, is it?
No. Have you finished?
I have.
Goodbye.
Friday afternoons with Iain Lee.
On BBC WM 95.6.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
That's what you call banter. We've been rehearsing that all day. That's called banter. Thanks, Caroline. Afternoon, Iain Lee, BBC WM 95.6. If you want to give us a call, you can. I just saw that there was someone calling up and the show hadn't even started yet. And there was a phone call. There's kind of lots of... There's lots of bits in the paper today, and I don't quite know... I don't know really where to start. There's the gay cake. There's Zayn Malik. There's Greg's in hospital. Let's start with Richard III and see where we end up, shall we? Shall we? Terry, what do you want?
Me thinks Iain's homophobic.
Zomophobic?
Yeah.
Why am I zomophobic?
Homophobic.
Why do you think I'm homophobic?
Over this gay cake business.
Well, why do you think I'm being homophobic about the gay cake? I've not even really said anything about the gay cake yet.
You said you agree with the bakery.
Well, the bakery... They, somebody went in, a gentleman went in, wanted a gay cake made.
Yeah.
The bakery said yes. A couple of days later, they phoned back and said, actually, do you know what? We can't do it because we're religious.
Oh,
No, listen. While I think that their views on homosexuality are outdated and incorrect, I do think they're well within their rights to say, do you know what? We don't want to make this cake.
Well, we know why religion's involved, because the Catholics just want to knock out as many kids as they want just to keep the faith going.
Are these Catholics, do we know?
Of course they are. At the island there was a...
Well, hang on a minute. Don't they have Protestants in Ireland as well?
Yeah, there's
Yes.
Protestant, yeah. Oh.
So they could be either or. The religious thing is... What should have happened, right, is they should have said, we can't make this cake.
Yeah.
And the gay gentleman should have then gone to, I don't know, another baker's.
Why should he?
Well, why should they make his cake?
Why shouldn't they?
Well, but then why shouldn't he go to another baker's? Aha!
I mean, I've got it on TiVo. There was an excellent...
TiVo?
I've TiVo'd it off the radio. There's a 30-minute programme about the gay cake affair.
The Gay Cake Affair. Gosh, by the way, guys, that's a great name for a psychedelic band from 1967. The Gay Cake Affair.
Yeah.
In fact, wasn't that a film starring Roger Moore?
Nothing gay about Roger Moore.
Or cakes. No, the thing is, yes, he was within his rights to go elsewhere, and they were within their rights to say, do you know what, we don't want to make this cake. They're self-employed, Terry. I'm self-employed. I can turn down jobs if I want to. The mistake they made, I think, was saying it's because they were Christians.
Well, what about human rights then on both sides?
Where's the human right in cake?
Well, you're obviously going to disagree, but I don't see why anybody should not do anything just because of religious grounds. It's ridiculous.
Well, but Terry, it may be ridiculous, but they are within their rights to say, do you know what? We don't want to make this cake.
Yeah,
they're bakers. They don't have to make every cake that's presented to them, do they?
Well, you're going to, for the next hour or 2 hours, you're going to get all...
Make me a swastika cake.
Well, what's the matter with that? That was the Roman.
No, it's
Roman
exactly.
symbol.
But they would be well within. It's also a Sikh symbol.
Yeah.
They would be well within their rights to say, no, we don't want to make a swastika cake, or no, we don't want to make a Thomas the Tank Engine cake.
Yeah, but for the next 2 hours, you're going to get all the God botherers and religious nutters justifying what they've done.
And they're all welcome. I don't want this to descend into it says in the Bible, man shall not lie with man. I don't want that.
Yeah, but it also says in the Bible there is a...
No, I don't want that.
If
You're
a woman
doing it.
If a woman is unfaithful to her husband, she should be taken and stoned.
Exactly, Terry.
And ruly children should be slaughtered.
That's why, Terry, and women who are on their period should go and sleep outside the city, and you should never eat shellfish. That's why I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but they don't drone on about them, do they?
No, but I don't want to do that, and you're making me do that.
Well, it's a debatable point.
Should we celebrate the sunshine?
Yes.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be served like California. You'd see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy blonde hairdo, serving USA. You'll catch them surfing at Ventura County line, Santa Cruz and Australia's Caribbean, all over Manhattan, and down Doheny Way. Everybody's gone surfing USA. We'll all be soon. We're waxing down our surfboard. We can't wait for June. We'll all be gone for the summer. We're on safari to stay. Tell the teacher we're surfing USA. Manganese and inside, outside, Pacific Palisades. Inside, outside, San Onofre Sun. Inside, outside, Redondo Beach, LA. Inside, outside, all over La Jolla. Inside, outside, at Waimea Bay. Inside, outside, everybody's gone surfing USA. Surfing USA. Everybody's gone surfing USA. Everybody's gone surfing USA. Yeah, everybody's gone surfing USA. Yeah, everybody's gone
See, the thing about this cake is, I in no way support the baker's stance on homosexuality. Each to their own. Let's all embrace and kiss and make love and touch each other. But I do think it's within their rights to say, do you know what? We don't want to make that cake. They're self-employed. They turn down business if they want to, don't they? I must admit, I'm kind of... I'm coming at this in the dark. Well... I'm feeling my way along. I don't have a particularly strong argument for it. It just feels like you should be able to do, you know, what you want to do. I don't think it's discriminatory to say we're not going to make a cake. 03453 009956. I may be hideously wrong, and by 4 o'clock this afternoon, you may have completely changed my mind on this. We'll talk about other bits and pieces as well. Let's go to Kimberly first. Good afternoon.
Rings up all the time.
Sorry?
Hello?
Hello, Kimberly.
Hello?
Hello, Kimberly.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you through the wireless, but not through the phone.
Pardon?
I can hear you now.
Thank you very much indeed, Kimberly. That was a great start to the phone conversation. What would you like to say, my darling?
What? Can you hear me?
Pardon?
Can you hear me now?
Hang on 1 second. Just give me a second. Hang on. Let's go to Kimberly. Good afternoon, Kimberly.
Good afternoon.
Kimberly, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes. Through the radio.
No, oh, here we go. Let's try again, shall we? Hang on. Good afternoon, Kimberly.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Excellent. What would you like to say?
You don't want to get rid of Ranch.
Sorry?
You don't want to get rid of that bloke.
Flipping it, we're getting more. We always get more phone calls about Ranjit than we do about the stuff I'm talking about.
No, because he's a regular, bless him.
So what?
WM have got the regulars. You got Millie from Aston.
Yes.
And you got Norma from the Scottish Borders.
By the way, can I just say, in 2 weeks' time, not next week because I won't be in, I just found out 30 minutes ago, but in 2 weeks' time, no regulars will be allowed to call on a Friday.
Okay. Can I just say, the BBC...
Just on one Friday, just that one Friday. It's going to be new callers only, Kimberly.
The BBC want to concentrate on the presenters and not the people who ring up, sorting out the presenters.
Oh, blimey, what would you like to sort me out, Kimberly?
Well, we need... Can I say what I think?
I don't know. It depends what you're thinking, Kimberly.
We need Pete Morgan back on his old slot.
Oh, blimey. I don't want to get, Kimberly. I don't want to get into all of that. That's their shows. That's all their kind of stuff. Let's focus on this show, Kimberly, shall we?
Well, we need you.
I'm here.
To stop on.
I'm here.
We don't need you Friday afternoon.
Sorry.
We need you 10 till 1 every Monday to Friday.
No, 10 till 1. You're having a laugh, aren't you? First of all, Danny Kelly. I met Danny Kelly for the first time today. He's a big fella, isn't he? He's a big lad, Kimberly.
I love Danny Kelly.
Well, Hank, but you just said you want me to replace him.
No, the late show, 10 till 1.
Oh, nighttime. I'm not doing a nighttime show, for goodness sakes. I'm too old for that.
No.
Yes.
No.
How old do you think I am, Kimberly?
You're in your 50s.
Excuse me?
But we need you...
Excuse me?
Or 40s.
Yay! What? Give me a specific age.
Hello?
Pardon?
I didn't hear that. So
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Give me a specific age.
You're in your... I'm no good at voices now. You're in your 40s.
I'm going to say you're 53.
No, I'm not, no.
59.
No, I'm 34.
Oh, I would... You smoke a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's that in the background? Your father?
No, my boyfriend.
You've got a boyfriend?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. How long you been together?
3 years in July.
When's he going to propose to you, Kimberly?
Never.
Why?
Because I told him not to.
Propose to her. When they say they don't want to, it means they do want to.
I don't want to marry him.
Why? Is he not the one?
No, he's the one, but as soon as you say I do, they go off with the next door neighbour.
Ah, treat them mean and keep them keen. Are you upset by Zayn Malik?
No.
Oh.
I'm going to see him in October.
Well, you won't be seeing Zayn?
No, I won't be seeing Zayn, no.
No. They should give you a fifth of your money back.
Well, I did actually ring to try and get my money back.
Did you?
Yeah, I says, is there any chance of a refund because Zayn won't be before me? And this is no, we only give refund to the show's cancelled.
Well, but it's not the show you booked tickets for, is it?
Yeah.
You booked tickets for... do you know, I have never heard a One Direction song. Oh, listen, I have never heard a One Direction song. Mm-hmm. Should we play a bit? I've just found some on the computer. Should we play a One Direction song?
Play Rod Stewart instead.
Sorry?
Play Rod Stewart instead.
Well, maybe... well, that doesn't really... what Rod Stewart song would you like?
Any.
Name one and I'll play it for you.
Maggie May.
Maggie May, hang on. OK, right. You introduce it and I'll play it for you, Kimberly.
This is Rod Stewart, Maggie May.
Like a boy laser. Why be more done than the war occasion? I've got a good idea. Just keep me near. I'll be so good for you. I'm gonna help you. Rock it like you want me to.
Let's go to Trevor on the M5. Good afternoon, Trevor.
Was he ratted when he sung that?
Sadly, I think that's Alan Caddick's Natural State.
Jesus Christ.
There we go, sir. Thank you. That's a category C. Apologies to anyone offended. Trevor, what have you got for us?
Well, you was on about cakes, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
I want a Peppa Pig cake.
Sorry?
Peppa Pig.
Yes, and what about Peppa Pig?
I want a Peppa Pig cake.
I'm sorry, Trevor, that due to my religious beliefs, I can't make you a Peppa Pig cake.
Well, you can stick your shop right where the sun...
Thank you very much indeed. 03453 009956. The problem with this story is the bakers made the mistake of saying it was their religious beliefs, mistake in inverted commas, and the gay gentleman got stroppy. He was a gay rights activist, so he's going to, pull his socks up, roll his sleeves up, and make a fuss about it. Now, this is a really tough one, isn't it? I'm not supporting the religious stance that some Christians seem to have against homosexuality. I don't support that view, OK? I do support the right, though, of businesses to turn down work if they so require, Millie.
Yes, love.
Good afternoon, Millie.
Hey, darling, I was in the garden.
You're making me feel silly.
I was in the garden and I was timing myself.
You were doing what to yourself?
See?
What were you doing?
I was in the garden.
Yes?
So I said, I was timing myself at 2 o'clock.
Timing yourself? Doing
just
what?
Getting to you.
Oh, timing yourself getting to me. That almost makes sense, Millie.
To get in the house to talk to you.
How big is your garden?
Yeah, I was in the garden, yeah.
OK, OK. Well,
just potting about.
Potting about in the garden. OK, Millie, yep. Well, you've timed yourself perfectly if you were aiming for 2:19.
I was there.
Yep.
I was listening to you and Terry.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't see why they couldn't make that cake.
Yeah.
I don't know what
They
religion is making the cake.
they didn't want to make the cake. They didn't want to make the cake that said support gay marriage, and it had a picture, and I find this offensive, it had a picture of Bert and Ernie on from Sesame Street.
Oh, the Big Bird.
No, just Bert and Ernie. The Big Bird and Mr. Snuffleupagus were not present on the cake. Would that have made a difference, Millie?
No.
No. I do think it's within their rights to say, no, we don't fancy making it.
But I think they should make the cake.
Why?
Because there's nothing stopping them from making the cake.
They didn't want to make the cake.
Why they didn't want to make the cake? Because they were stupid.
Well, they didn't fancy making...
They was going to pay them for the cake.
Yeah, they didn't want to make the cake.
Yes, and what religion is to do with that?
Well, they didn't want to make the cake. I've turned down work, Millie. I've had people ask me to do jobs that I've not fancied doing.
Yeah,
should I have done those jobs?
It's different if you came at me to do a job for me, yeah.
What?
And the facilities is not good. You could say, well, I'm not doing that.
If the facilities were not good, then I would not enter a facility.
So you wouldn't know until you get into the house.
Am I coming to your house, Millie?
My house? Oh, my one is posh. Mine is not like that.
I don't believe it is.
All right, then. So that you was going in to someone's yard, yeah? And they had, like, dogs or mess somewhere.
Dogs and mess, yes. Do you know what I do for a living,
I'm not
Millie?
doing it.
Yeah, Millie, do you know what I do for a living? Why would I be going to someone's yard with dogs and mess?
Because you could be in a gardener, you could have been anybody.
I'm not a gardener, I'm a radio presenter.
You don't have to be a radio. But you don't got odd jobs.
No, I don't do odd jobs for cash, Millie, no.
Not you.
I do this for cash.
That's all you do, just on the radio.
Just on the radio and a little bit of telly and a bit of writing. I don't go and do
You
odd...
don't do moonlight, whatever it is.
What, go and do cash in hand carpentry jobs? No, Millie.
You can come and do some jobs for me in the garden.
Oh, come on. I know the kind of jobs you want me to do for you, Millie, and let's just say I'm a married man.
What's wrong with that?
Cheeky lady. Say hello to Ranjit, go on.
Hi, Ranjit.
How are you?
Hello, my darling. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
You getting a tan?
I was born with a tan. I'm lucky.
Well, I was sprucing mine up.
Was you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be rude to you.
No, mine is not too dark. Mine is just chocolate.
Are you tanned all over?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Have you got a high fence?
Yeah.
Ian, stop
can't
it.
Jump over.
Ian, stop it.
Ian, hi to Kimberly. Hello, Kimberly. Thanks for talking about.
Yeah, listen.
Ian don't want us on there no more.
No, he does, because next week when he has his programme, when he's not going to have the regulars,
yeah,
he's going to struggle.
He's going to have it because
live and direct from Albury and Aston. This is the Millie and Ranjit show.
Yeah.
And we're doing fine without him.
Yeah.
I think that's what we ought to do. All of us ought to come next Friday to the studio and do the show without him.
Please do come next Friday.
Yeah.
Ranjit and Millie, you are invited next Friday at 2 o'clock to come to the studio. Do you know why?
Be there next Friday?
I won't be here next Friday.
Ian, listen. Ian, you know your earlier caller, the one that was going on about the cake?
I'm losing the will to live.
And he was calling him homophobic.
Yeah.
Did you hear him when he says all those Catholics want to knock out loads of more Catholics? I think that was a bit rude of him to say that, don't you?
Well, I didn't want to particularly get into the religious...
No, that's why Ian...
Yeah, but he shouldn't say that,
Here we go. Listen to this.
That's why Ian turned him off.
Millie and Ranjit, listen to this.
Yes, my darling.
Did you watch the fascinating political debates last night?
I did.
OK. Well, maybe you'll identify with this text then from Jay. Jay says, Ian, did you see the size of Paxman's nose on the debates last night?
He's getting older and his ears are bigger.
I swear it's the biggest nose on TV. Ranjit, would you say Paxman's got the biggest nose on TV?
He has. You know, if I was Prime Minister, you know what I would do?
Make chips free.
No. I would teach these politicians how to speak English and understand English, because obviously they don't understand...
Ranjit, coming from you, you're going to teach...
I do not... Hang on, listen.
Flip
if I ask you a question... Millie?
Yeah?
If I was to ask you a question and you didn't understand the question, wouldn't you say, pardon me, could you repeat the question?
Definitely.
You wouldn't answer with another question.
I would have loved to have seen these two at it last night, as opposed to David Cameron and Paxman.
Listen, don't go around watching people at it at night.
Yes.
You're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble.
Thank you, Ranjit. Thank you, Millie. We can play that game. Who's got the biggest nose on television? Jay seems to think it's Jeremy Paxman. I listened to the first 10 minutes of that on the radio and I thought, you know what? My life is too short. 03453 009956, or you can text 81333. Start your text WM. Here's Blondie.
She moves like she don't care. Smooth as silk, cool as air. Ooh, it makes you wanna cry. She doesn't know your name, and your heart beats like a subway train. Ooh, it makes you wanna die. Ooh, don't you wanna take her? Wanna make her all your own. Maria, you've gotta see her. Go insane and out of your mind. Regina, Ave Maria. A million and one candlelights. I've seen this thing before in my best friend and the boy next door. Fool for love and fool on fire. One coming from the rain. She's oceans running down the drain. Blue as ice and desire. Don't you wanna make her? Don't you wanna take her home? Maria, you've gotta see her. Go insane and out of your mind. Regina, Ave Maria. A million and one candlelights. Don't you wanna break her? Ooh, don't you wanna take her home? She walks like she don't care, walking on imported air. Ooh, it makes you wanna die. Maria, you've gotta see her. Go insane and out of your mind. Regina, Ave Maria. A million and one candlelights. You've gotta see her. Go insane and out of your mind. Regina, Ave Maria. A million
Ah, man. It's a nice day out there today. It's a nice day out there. I'm feeling a bit naughty. We're talking gay cakes. We'll be talking Zayn Malik. We're talking. There's a brilliant picture of a fella driving a buggy scooter type thing, towing a boat. Dear listener, can you imagine such a thing? I've got real beef with those mobility scooters. We'll talk about that in a moment. 03453 009956.
Your travel news in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Let's get the travel news. Here's Phil Peacock.
We've got problems on both sides of the M6. First of all, the northbound side is a lane blocked between junction 7 for Great Barn, junction 8 as you make the turn for the M5 because of an accident there. It's currently being recovered. Northbound also on the M6 between junction 5 in Castle Bromwich and junction 6 for for the Ask Expressway is slow because of a broken down vehicle there. Southbound on the M6, it's busy from junction 10A at the M54 down to junction 8 for the M5 because of those roadworks, which is having a bit of an effect on the northbound side of the M5, which is slow from junction 1 towards the M6. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 travel on 0330 123 3550.
On FM
Freeview Digital Radio
and online.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
We'll talk more after the news with Charlotte Harriman.
It's been reported in Germany that Andreas Lubitz, the pilot thought to have deliberately crashed a passenger jet into the French Alps, hid evidence of mental health problems from his employers. It's emerged Mr. Lubitz's flat and his parents' house had been searched and medical documents had been seized which pointed to an existing illness and treatment. A paedophile tricked into thinking he was meeting a 14-year-old girl for sex has been jailed for a year. Newcastle Crown Court heard that 57-year-old John Rudd from Stockton was caught in an internet sting by a group of vigilantes calling themselves Dark Justice. He admitted attempting to meet a child he groomed. The family of a Birmingham teenager who died after being hit by a police car are warning about a bogus fundraising page. The Independent Police Complaints is investigating the death of 15-year-old Harry Kirkham, who died after being hit outside in Erdington Police Station earlier this month. His family say the Fund Me internet page has been set up by someone they don't know. And the Top Gear producer, punched by Jeremy Clarkson, has told police he doesn't want to press charges. Officers in North Yorkshire have said they were obliged to speak to witnesses about the row over food. The presenter's contract won't be renewed by the BBC. Taking a look at the weather, a fine day with some sunny spells reaching 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Some showers about tonight with the wind picking up, dipping down to 5 degrees Celsius, 41 degrees Fahrenheit. And rain tomorrow morning, but drying out by the afternoon with very windy weather and highs at 14 degrees Celsius, 57 degrees Fahrenheit. That's your news for the West Midlands. It's now coming up to 32 minutes past 2.
On FM, Freeview, digital radio and online.
BBC WM 95.6.
I'm not a fan. But, by the way, we're getting new listeners all the time. I throw out this stuff to talk about. You want to talk about something else? Beautiful. It's kind of pretty much anything goes on this show. Pretty much anything goes. I'm not a fan of mobility scooters. My mum used to drive one, and boy, oh boy, did you phoned up everybody in the street when she was going out saying, stay indoors. A lot of the people that use them as well, they're lazy. When you see mobility scooters parked up in pub car parks, lazy people. I was in a shopping centre recently, and I was trying to judge who needed to ride one and who didn't. You can't always tell. The majority of them are lazy people. And riding them down the street as well, down on the road, actually on the road, like a car. Anyway, this is brilliant. A mobility scooter owner is caught towing his boat through a town centre at 2 miles per hour, leaving chaos in his wake. And there he is, on a tiny little scooter, and he's pulling a boat. Traffic queues built up as he set off for a fishing jaunt, even stopping at a shop on the way. He was snapped by amazed onlookers on his tortuous? Is tortuous a word?
Tortuous is if you can say it right.
What about torturous?
Torturous is possibly a word.
Well, torturous is more of a word than tortuous.
Torturous would be suggesting someone who carries a torch.
No, don't be a plum. Torturous means torture.
Torture, yes, I'm aware of that.
But, OK, so what does tortuous mean?
Tortuous is what this radio is now, I think.
I think you could be right. You could be right. He's not wrong. 03453 009956. he was snapped by amazed on... Why does nobody say anything in these instances? Is our reaction nowadays is if we see anything happening, instead of getting involved or having a word or stopping the fight, we get our phones out and film it. There's an old lady being mugged. Quick, let me film it. I might get it on Sky News. He was snapped by amazed onlookers on his tortuous trip. I don't think that's a word. Through Hartlepool. And the photos became an online sensation. Butcher, Luke Cartridge, 22, explained that he bought the scooter second-hand for £120 after breaking a leg. He said, I set off towing the rowing boat, with my girlfriend Natasha walking beside me. I guess it kind of begs the question, let's get rid of mobility scooters. That's not even a question. That's just a statement of what... That's a statement of intent. That's what I'm going to do. And what have you ever towed? I don't like the idea of towing. I don't like the idea of towing things. How do you reverse when you're towing... How do you reverse, Stephen, when you're towing something?
I've never actually towed anything here. I wouldn't know the answer.
No, how old are you, Stephen, roughly? Or exactly, I don't mind.
Well, I am exactly 37 and 2 months.
Oh, happy birthday for 2 months ago.
Thank you.
And can you drive?
Just about.
OK, I'm 4 or 5 years older than you. I have a full driving licence. I don't know for how much longer. But I just... towing terrifies the life out of me.
Right.
And driving big vehicles.
Well, I've got a very, very small car. It has to be said, I don't like big cars.
I drive a Polo, and if I were to drive a people car... I've driven Luton and Bedford vans before, and it was flipping... I drove a Luton van one. You know, they're the big kind of white box vans with shutters at the back, right? And I drove one years and years ago, and I came up to one of those barriers. It was in Willesden in northwest London. I remember exactly. I came up to those width barriers, right? And I looked at it, and I thought, yeah, I can do this. I can do this, not a problem. Went for it, boom, smacked it. Reversed and thought, no, I can still do this. I can still... Boom, smacked it. Do you know what I did then?
Go on.
I went for it a third time, Stephen. I went for it a third time. And I smacked into it. And then I decided to get out of there sharpish. Stephen, I'm assuming you've not called in about towing things. What have you got for us?
Well, I've called in about the fairy cakes because what I found offensive was the fact that the gay rights activist in this day and age did not seek the services of a gay bakery because you can get anything...
A gakery?
Well, yes, I suppose.
A gakery, yeah.
Yes, a gakery, sorry. Yeah. You're making me laugh.
I'll stop that, Stephen. That's forbidden here on this programme. There'll be no laughter.
So, I've lost my train of thought.
He should have gone to a gay baker. Don't. Stop it. You're not taking this seriously, Stephen. For goodness sakes.
He should have gone to somebody who provides services, who is an openly gay bakery or a gakery, if you call it. You can get anything these days that are run by different people.
Different people? Yes, I believe gay people can even vote these days. The thing is, Stephen,
we can.
I've heard that rumour. Don't waste it. Listen, I lived for a long time in London. London is... Don't, there's a snort there. Are we flirting, Stephen? I think we might be. And you know what? I like it.
Every Friday, this is what happens. For 2 hours, I just uncontrollable laughter.
Bless you. Bless you.
I turned you off before now because...
Well, you're turning me on now. Hey, listen, I used to be, when I was a younger man, I used to get chatted up by gay men quite a lot. Hey, steady on, fella. And I always found it very, very flattering. I was, I'm heterosexual. I was always found it very, very flattering. But as I get older, and I think better looking, I don't get chatted up by blokes anymore. What's going on?
Well, you probably passed it. But the thing is, going back to the gakery, you see, as I said to you in the text, I'm self-employed. Now, there's many jobs that I can't do.
Oh, yeah.
Not because
Steady.
I don't like the people. It's just because it falls outside of what I am capable of doing
Yes.
on my own. And therefore, I just say I'm too busy to do it or I can't do it. Now, there's no reason, as you said, why the bakery had to say it's a religious thing. They could have just said we can't make the cake in time or whatever. But I think they both need their heads banging together because one's taken it public and the other person's made a big thing about it being a religious thing.
Do you know what, Stephen?
It's not good.
No, you're absolutely right. It's one of those things where they kind of need their mums or their headmaster to get them together and say, come on, you two Muppets. Muppets being the operative word, as Bert and Ernie were on there. Sort it out. Listen, you don't want to make your cake. Go and find someone else that does. Both of you, grow up and stop being so silly.
And the thing is as well, Ian, I mean, if they feel that way about it, rather they be up front and say we're not going to do it than put something in it and poison them. Not that I'm suggesting they would.
No.
But, you know, the potential's there.
Yes.
We've all heard what happens when you send food back in a restaurant.
Oh, well, no, this is the thing. You never send food back in a restaurant, and you're never rude to the waiters because they could put any kind of hair in there.
Oh, yes. And tell you who else you're never rude to as well, Ian? Cleaning stuff. I used to clean an office, and the receptionist was an absolute, you can choose the next word. And I thought, I could do anything when you're not here.
Do you know what, Stephen? You've given us the next phone in. Who should you never be rude to? Stephen, it's good to talk to you, mate. Ta-ta. Excellent call. Thank you very much indeed. Gwen's in Hodge Hill. Gwen, who should you never be rude to?
Anybody?
Well, some people usually... Well, yeah, OK, right. In the great philosophical... It was good, Stephen. In the great philosophical world of things, yes, you should never be rude to anybody. But some people, you have to. But waiters, cleaners...
Well, let's put it this way. You'd be nice to the face if you say what you like behind
Gwen,
the
I'm so sorry. Are you speaking underwater?
Yes. No, I've got bronchitis.
Oh, so your lungs are literally filled with fluid.
They are filled with water.
Because it's a very muffled line, Gwen.
How's that then?
The same.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh dear, this is my husband's voice. But anyway, I've rung you up about that guy on the mobility scooter.
Oh, yeah, let's get rid of mobility scooters, shall we?
I mean, I thought it was hilarious. I mean...
I'm getting every third word.
Stop laughing.
No, what? You thought it was a what?
I thought it was hilarious.
He's a lazy so-and-so.
Well, come on. How would you tow a boat with a tow?
First of all, I wouldn't tow a boat. I'd have a boat by the water, and I wouldn't tow it on a mobility scooter.
I'm awfully sorry, but I really did find it funny. But anyway, it's not against the law to do what he was doing.
Well, Gwen, listen, it's a terrible line. I'm going to let you go, but it should be against the law. 03453 009956. Here's The Who.
People try to put us to down, talking about my generation, just because we get around, talking about my generation, things they do look awful, talking about my generation, I hope I die before I get old, talking about my generation, this is my generation, baby, why don't you all fade away? Don't try to dig what we all say. I'm not trying to cause a big sensation. I'm just talking about my generation. My generation. Look at my generation, baby. Don't you all fade away? Don't try to dig what we all say. I'm trying to cause a big sensation. Just talking about my generation. This is my generation. This is my generation, baby. Try to put us to down, talking about my generation, just because we could get around, talking about my generation, things they do look awful cold, my generation, I hope I die before I get old, my generation.
much do I love The Who.
The Gardening Phone-In with Molly Green.
Thank you for joining us Saturday morning just to talk hedgehogs, because we're going to talk about how to make your garden hedgehog friendly.
What we need people to do is actually look before gardening, when you compost heat.
The Gardening Phone-In awaits your call. Rita, good morning to you.
Good morning to you both.
And how's your garden?
Looking a bit tired.
Oh, we all are after winter, Rita. Come on.
Every Saturday, you can get advice from gardening expert Phil Mycan.
I hope nobody's eating their breakfast.
Oh no, Rosemary, what have you got?
Big white slugs everywhere. What can I do?
The Gardening Phone-In with Molly Green.
Every Saturday morning from 9 on BBC WM 95.6.
Do you like that show, Jeff?
Hello.
Sorry?
You all right?
Do you like that show, Jeff?
Which one was that?
The one that we just played a 46-second advert for.
I was miles away. I wish it was.
Molly's gardening show on a Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I like all the WM shows.
Well, all of them? Even
yeah.
Danny Kelly?
Yeah, Danny
Oh, you must be desperate.
But Iain, you make me laugh, man. You make me laugh.
I make ye laugh, I do, boy. I make ye laugh.
So, yeah. Anyway, I only called up to see if they put mince in a gay cake.
What, mince meat?
Mince. Well,
why would you put mince meat in a cake? That'd be horrible. That's a pie.
No, it's a joke. You don't think out the box mince. They say guys walk with when they walk.
But I don't understand why you'd put mince meat in a cake.
No,
I think it was. I think it's just from the look of it. It's just like a sponge cake, mate.
Yeah, but I was just making a joke about mincing.
But why would you put mince meat in a cake? You're thinking of.
That's it, man.
Jeff, you're thinking of a pie.
No, I'm not.
No, it was a cream horn. 03453 009956. That was a call from 1976 from our vaults here at BBC WM. 03453 009956. One of the big stories of the week has been, and it's been going on for a while. Can someone explain this to me? Why the hell we're supposed to be bothered about Richard III? If anybody can explain it, I do not get it. There were 4,000 people queuing up to see the coffin of a man who's been dead for 500 years. Really? Why? And now, blooming rent-a-gob, Benedict Cumberbatch, who's supposedly a cousin of Richard III, do me a favour? Richard III, of course, is rhyming slang for something particularly unpleasant. Richard III? You know what that's rhyming slang for? Yeah, we do. Imagine if your name was rhyming slang, right? Lionel Flares, right? That's quite a good one. But then you got Richard III. I'm not even going to start with Gary Glitter. Yeah, it's just terrible, you know. But do you get this fuss around Richard III? Why we should be so excited by it?
I need an Iain Lee.
There you go, exactly, you see? King Richard III was laid to rest yesterday with the help of his distant cousin, Sherlock actor Benedict Rent-a-gob. I don't get Cumberbatch. I do not get Cumberbatch, and I tried the Sherlock programme. I really did. I tried the Sherlock programme, and I couldn't make head nor tail of it. He bumped into someone and loads of words started flying up on the screen. Did he have magic powers? Is that what that was? 03453 009956. If anybody can explain the fascination with A, Richard III, and B, Benedict Cumberbatch. The monarch's £2.5 million funeral... There are some families that can't afford to bury their nan, and this fella's getting a £2.5 million funeral. He was quite happy in the car park. The monarch's £2.5 million funeral at Leicester Cathedral came 3 years after his remains were found under a council car park. Cumberbatch, 38, he's younger than me, is the King's second cousin, 16 times removed. I don't even know what that means. Honestly, I don't know what would that look like on a family tree. And we'll play him in a BBC drama this year. He read a verse penned by the Poet Laureate. We still have a Poet Laureate. Who knows, your starter for 10, who knows what the Poet Laureate's name is? If I didn't have it in front of me, I would say Ted Hughes or Pam Ayres. Who knows what the Poet Laureate's name is? Hang on, let me just take this one. Pete, do you know what the Poet Laureate's name is?
Sorry?
Do you know what the Poet Laureate's name is?
Whose name?
The Poet Laureate.
No.
OK, what have you called in for, Pete?
I ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, what have you called in for, Pete? You're on the air.
I never called in.
You literally just called in, Pete?
Well, that was mistaken, sorry.
Oh, that's OK then. Have a good afternoon.
So.
Ta-ta. Imagine that. You pick up your phone, you've not called out, and someone's saying to you, who's the Poet Laureate? What? Who's the Poet Laureate? I don't know what you're talking about, mate. He did call in, I promise. Soldiers wasted their time and lowered the 26-stone lead-lined coffin to its resting place in the cathedral, watched by 700 guests and thousands more outside. Margaret?
Hello?
Do you know who the Poet Laureate is?
Yeah, it's, I've just Googled it, actually.
Oh, so you... Oh, hang on. Well, that's cheating.
I know it is.
I could Google it. I mean, I don't need to. I've got it in front of me.
Caroline Duffy, isn't it?
OK, name one of her poems.
I don't know.
Exactly. Well done. You've won 5 points. But I didn't even know we still had a Poet Laureate.
Well, I didn't, actually, but I just Googled it. I was just interested, actually.
I wonder how much the Poet Laureate gets paid. It must be a good little earner.
I should imagine.
What are you doing in the background, Margaret?
Pardon?
What's that bleeping in the background?
It's my tablet.
Oh, what's it doing? Are you playing Puzzle
No,
Bobble?
I just Google everything to find out things.
Really?
Yeah, really interesting.
Does it name any of her poems?
No, actually, it doesn't.
Pam Ayres would be so much better, wouldn't she?
I would have said, oh, yeah, she was fantastic.
She was good doing poems about her. She was on Radio 4 the other day. She's still brilliant.
She's very original, isn't she?
She is. She's funny. She's brilliant. Her and Roger McGough and Philip Larkin are the only poets I like.
And me.
Thank you, Margaret.
OK.
Ta-ta. What a nice lady. What a nice lady. Thousands were watching it outside. I've lost my train of thought now. I had something really, really insightful, clever. I have something really clever to say. I can't think what it was. Never mind. 03453 009956. How much does the Poet Laureate get paid? Gay cakes or gakes? Buggies? Who's got the biggest nose on television? And who should you never be rude to? 03453 009956.
If you're asking me to say, living life without you, girl, he's alright. If you really want to know, I'd have to say it's dangerous to my mind. So before you turn and walk away, just let me love you one more time. Feel your heartbeat close to mine. Let me love you all the time. Let it love me. Yes, I'm asking you to stay. Remembering it used to be so right. If you're asking for the truth, I'd have to say I won't believe it's good night. So before you turn and walk away, just let me love you one more time. Feel your heartbeat close to mine. Lady, love me all the time. Lady, love me.
03453 009956. Nick is on the line. Good afternoon, Nick.
Hello, bud.
What have you got for us, fella?
I just phoned in and then they said you've got to say it to him, so they put me through.
Say it. Don't phone in just to... I never get this, why people phone in to speak to the team and they say, we'll put you through now. Oh, no, I don't want to go on the air.
No, I don't mind.
Come on, Nick, what you got?
I didn't want to clutter the lines up.
You could never clutter the line up with your dulcet tones. Nick, what have you got for us?
I phoned in and I said, look, I've got to put the tools down. It's become dangerous.
Oh. You've been drinking?
Laughter.
Oh, really?
The laughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're just too much. And you're a different class from the rest.
Nick. Oh, Nick. Thank you, boss. I'll tell you what, for the next hour of the show, Nick, so that building work gets done in the West Midlands and Birmingham and the surrounding areas, the next hour of the show will be deathly dull. Okay, it's going to be... I don't want to damage people like Nick and people who might be working or anything like that. Nick, thank you very much. You're very kind indeed. 03453 009956. I was wondering if I can read any of the... Oh, it's okay. So someone has texted in saying that Jeremy Paxman has got the biggest nose on television. We are playing nose poker. Noka. We're playing Noka. Who's got the biggest nose? Now, someone has texted in Davina McCall. The beautiful, the wonderful, the delightful Davina McCall. Big nose? No. Really? I'm going to have to Google her during the news. I love Davina McCall. I met her a couple of times and she is so delightful. She's exactly like she is on the telly. Big nose? No. 03453 009956 is the telephone number. Oh, look, Andy's in bed recovering from an operation. This is what I want. I might do this tomorrow. Bits of your body you don't need. Because there are loads of bits that you don't... Like your appendix you don't need, your pancreas, kind of like the flappy bits of the ears, the ear lobes. Do you need your eyelashes? I don't think you do. Remind me tomorrow, Marky Mark. We'll do that. Bits of your body that you do not need. I do it today. I'm not really that fussed. We'll come up with some other rubbish for tomorrow. 03453 009956. I'm afraid, dear listener, there's another hour of this nonsense before Paul Franks.
Your travel news in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Before that, though, let's get the travel. Here's Phil Peacock.
There's delays on the northbound M42 because of a multi-vehicle accident around Junction 9 for Coles Hill. Northbound on the M5 seeing delays because of a broken down vehicle between Junction 4 at Lydia Tash and Junction 3 for Halzowen. There's also some problems on the northbound side of the M6. First of all, there's an accident in place between Junction 7 and Junction 8, the Great Bar and M5 turns, as well as a breakdown between Junction 5 and Junction 6 causing delays. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 travel on 0330 123 3550.
On FM.
Freeview, digital radio
and online.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Coming up in the next hour, films, spoilers, vegetables, and what have you stolen? All of that after the news with Charlotte Harriman.
It's being reported in Germany that Andreas Lubitz, the pilot thought to have deliberately crashed a passenger jet in the French Alps, hid evidence of mental health problems from his employers. Christoph Kumper from the prosecutor's office in Dusseldorf said Mr. Lubitz's flat and his parents' house had been searched and medical documents had been seized which pointed to an existing illness and treatment. 150 people died in the crash, including a 50-year-old father of two, Martin Matthews from Bushbury in Wolverhampton. A 15-year-old cyclist has died after a collision in a car in Wednesbury last night. A 24-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of causing death by dangerous driving. It happened on Walsall Road in Friar Park at around 7:40 last night. The teenager was pronounced dead at the scene. A British military healthcare worker who contracted Ebola while working in Sierra Leone has been discharged from a London hospital. Corporal Anna Cross was given an experimental drug to fight the virus. The 25-year-old paid tribute to the team at the Royal Free Hospital who helped save her life.
Thanks to the team here, who are, I would say, the best in the world.
at treating this disease. An absolutely incredible bunch of clinicians, incredibly skilled, incredibly intelligent, and incredibly professional. And yeah, thanks to them, I'm alive. So a huge thank you from me and my family.
A West Midlands commuter is hoping that a train station's defunct southbound platform can be brought back into use. Polesworth is one of the few stations in Britain which only runs in one direction, as only the northbound platform is in use. Jason Husselby-Orwin lives in Polesworth and gets the 7:23 train every morning to Tamworth, so he can change there for Birmingham New Street. He says it's value for money for him to buy a season ticket, even though he has to get his wife to pick him up from Tamworth for the return.
Still works out cheaper than me buying a single every day from Polesworth to Tamworth. So I still find it good value for money. But I mainly buy the ticket because I just feel that there's a risk that the station will get closed one day because it's so underused. And I buy the season ticket generally just to show the rail companies that people are still using the station.
And a new study suggests Saturday evening is the most dangerous time to be at home, with 4 accidents taking place in the UK every second. The charity Electrical Safety First said the accidents included serious electric shocks, burns, gas leaks and fires. The survey found people tended to be busier at the weekend and had potentially had a few drinks, making them more prone to risky behaviour. Taking a look at the weather, sunny spells this afternoon and highs of 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Some showers tonight with the wind picking up, dipping down to 5 degrees Celsius, 41 degrees Fahrenheit. And more rain tomorrow, but drying out by the afternoon at 14 degrees Celsius, 57 degrees Fahrenheit. That's your news for the West Midlands. It's now 3 minutes past 3.
Friday afternoons with Iain Lee.
On BBC WM 95.6.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
And Charlotte gives us the topic for the next hour of the show. Accidents in your own home. Ladies and gentlemen, it writes itself. Thank you, Charlotte. Accidents. I gave myself an electric shock the other day by being really, really stupid. That's how most of these things happen. I literally could have killed... There are two things in the past week. Did you pick up my phone charger, Marky Mark, as requested? Excellent. Good. I left my phone charger here last week, like an idiot, right? I've got another phone charger at home, but it stopped working. It's a cable and a plug. Couldn't be without a phone charger for a week. There's no way I was going to buy another one, knowing that it was here. So I thought, I'm going to fix my old phone charger, right? So it's obviously a loose connection in the cable. So I cut the cable open. And I saw where the loose connection was. I haven't got any tools or any common sense. So, this is so stupid. So what I did is basically a wire is broken, and if you reconnect the wires, it works, kinda. So what I would do is I would plug the phone in, and then I would rest the wires kind of on top of each other so it would charge. And this it did. With the added bonus of creating sparks. Yeah, created sparks. Now, this is obviously the most stupid thing you could do. Don't do this at home. Unless you're really desperate to charge your phone. So what I would do is I would only charge it at night time. I would have this, what can only be described as a fire hazard, but I had it right next to the bed. My reasoning was, if it set fire, I would be so close to it, I'd smell the smoke and wake up and put the fire out immediately. I mean, what an idiot. But I did it all week, sparks and all. And then also, a couple of weeks ago, one of our plug sockets was bunged up. And while the kids were in the bath, this plug socket opposite the bathroom, so I can see them and they can see me, while the kids are in the bath, I tried to unbung this plug socket by taking it off the wall. Didn't turn the electricity off. I didn't do that. So I unscrewed it off the wall, and there's a bit of plastic stuck in one of the holes. I tried to get it out by banging it with a metal screwdriver. What an idiot. 03 453 00 9956. Injuries in the home, please. Who's got the biggest nose? Who should you never be rude to? And anything else you fancy, really. Okay, never be rude to a tattoo artist, especially if they are doing your back, says Tattoo Chris. Hey. You've really got to... The thing about tattoo artists, I'm not a fan of tattoos. Each to their own. My brother is a tattoo artist, and he keeps trying to... No way, Dan. It ain't happening, fella. Thing is, surely with tattoo artists, they are permanently shaping your body for the rest of your life. You could have another 60, 70 years of that on your... And yet, what people do is they just walk into tattoo shops and go, oh, I'd like that one, please. If I'm going to have anybody paint something permanently on my face, then I'm going to want to know that I'm going to take them out for dinner. I'm going to want to go round their house. I might even want to spend a weekend with them to make sure I can trust them. 03453 009956. Come on, guys, isn't it time we got rid of the mobility scooters? So here's the thing, Richard. We're all hot on our 5 a day, yeah? Let's try that again. Hang on a second. So here's a thing, Richard. We're all hot on our 5 a day, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Around 1 in 20 parents mistakenly believe that a packet of crisps counts towards their children's 5 a day portions of fruit or vegetables. Obviously, those people are idiots, yes? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, is this on?
It's good when you don't answer back, Ian, because you do it to other people.
Researchers found that 33%... Why am I echoing, Richard? Have you turned your radio on? You're getting right. He's getting right on my wit, Richard, in Erdington. I've got good
Yes, you are, mate. You're talking to me.
How long will it take me to drive to Erdington? Because I'm going to go around after the show and kick him up the bum.
Oh, do you want to put my address on this time, then?
Researchers found that 33% couldn't correctly identify 5 portions, with 1 in 4 counting jacket potatoes as one of their children's 5 fruit and vegetable servings. I always thought that potatoes were a vegetable, and I thought that potatoes counted as one of your 5 a day.
So did I.
It turns out they don't, Richard.
Oh, right.
1 in 7...
What's it got to do with mobility scooters?
Absolutely nothing. We're having a conversation, my darling.
Right.
1 in 5... No, sorry, 1... Where is this now? 1 in 4 counted jacket potatoes. 1 in 7 suggested mashed potatoes. Well, you're telling me that potatoes aren't one of your 5 a day? That's ridiculous.
I know it is.
Can someone explain... 03453 009956. Can someone explain that to me? Because Richard's not interested.
I'm interested about the mobility scooters.
Go on then, Richard. You're a one man top one. Hang on. You're a one.
On,
yeah, I'll get it right. I'll get it right in a second, Richard. I'll get there. Don't worry. Here we go. Take a run up to it. Here we go. Richard, you're a one topic man.
No, I'm 2 topic man, mate. But you're talking about all the fruit and veg. You're making me hungry. So I'm big enough as it is.
Are you a big lad, Richard?
I am, mate.
How big are you?
I'm about 22 stone.
Flipping heck! And how tall? 4'9". No, how tall are you?
5'10".
Oh, so you're a wee fella.
I am, yes.
Well, that's incredible.
Yeah, but I say I'm not big, really. I'm just nice and cuddly for other ladies.
Well, do the ladies like to cuddle up into your rolls?
Oh, it's my personality, mate.
Yeah.
Like you, Ian.
Yeah.
Your personality's fantastic.
It's my personality over my looks, definitely. And women like cuddling up to bony men just as much as they do to larger men.
On board as well.
Oh, you got nothing going for you, fella. Richard, what have you called in about? Go on.
Right, back mobility scooters, mate.
Yes, my love.
So why do you want to get rid of them?
Because they're a pain in the backside, and most people who use them, he said, joining the dots, are lazy. Do you use one?
No, I work with people with mobility scooters, but I do understand, in a way, where you're coming from. I think when people are on mobility scooters, when they have one, they should have some kind of test, because they can be dangerous. People in the procession on the road, like kids on bikes, but I mean, in the day, it can be discrimination, really, people with disability with scooters. And things like that. How will they get around, mate?
Well, I don't know, wheelchairs?
Yeah, but again, a lot of people don't. There's not enough carers to push people in wheelchairs.
Electric wheelchairs. Because electric wheelchairs, they do not cause anywhere near as much damage or potential damage as those scooters. They weigh an absolute ton. And you're right, there's no training for them. You can go on the road, and Richard, come on, let's be honest. We have both seen loads of people that do it just because they don't fancy walking.
Yes, that's another point. Yes, I do understand that. I mean, there should be really people who really deserve to have them as well. I mean, how far does that topic go, Ian? You can say that about with people with mobility cars as well and everything, you see.
You don't get you used to get the 3-wheeler Reliant Robins for as mobility vehicles, didn't you?
Yeah, the little blue ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I believe, if I remember back to my issue when I was taught about on the disability front, that the reason why they was taken up because they was made of fiberglass, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
and they was quite dangerous, and I think a few people died on the motorway,
Well,
and they turned it, they turned over.
They kept tipping. If you took a corner too sharply, it would tip on its side. Now, the great thing was the people could just lift it up again, but, yeah, they kept falling over on its side.
Yeah, but again, mate, I mean, they was there for people them days, but it's changed, isn't it? The change of life,
Let's just get rid of all mobility scooters, Richard.
No.
Because you see old fellas driving down the road.
They still need... People still need them.
No.
For their own need, if they deserve to have one.
But then, OK, well, don't drive them down the road. Don't drive them too fast on the pavement and get some insurance.
Yes, that's true. That's what I was going to say to you about. For sure, when they buy them, mate, because they do get on the mobility scheme as well. They can, on the award, what they get the money for, they can have a car or they can buy a scooter.
Yeah.
Now, I think the mobility scheme should look into that and say, well, if you're a mobility scheme, then, you should have this kind of little test, you're safe to drive it, and you've got to be insured as well, because you are with the cars.
Richard, thank you very much. Let's go to Manny. Afternoon, Manny.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you feeling today, Manny? Because last time we spoke, you were in very poor spirits, or you were in some sort of spirits. You were hungover.
That was last Saturday.
Yeah. You still sound a little bit ropey, mate.
No, I'm okay today.
Okay.
Arsene Wenger.
Sorry?
Arsene Wenger.
I thought you said something rude and finger.
No.
Arsene Wenger, the football man.
That's all right. Not a big deal today.
You know, I'm not a massive football fan.
I know.
Okay.
I already told the chap to pick the phone. There's him and there's Gerard Houllier. He's got a bigger than
Oh, big noses. Oh, what the
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, Gerard Depardieu. you.
I can only tell you the ones that I've, the ones that I could see.
Yes.
I don't know. Anyway, why are you not coming next week?
What, next week?
Yeah.
I don't know. I assume because it's Good Friday next week, and so I assumed I was in next week, and I'm talking, and I was speaking to someone upstairs, and they went, "Oh yeah, you're not in next week."
What about Saturday?
Oh, thanks for telling me, BBC.
What about Saturday?
I'm in Saturday.
That's long, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it means I get the day off, which is great. So I'll be up in Birmingham, just hanging out.
No good. Are you watching the football tonight?
No, I don't like football, Manny.
I know.
For goodness sakes, Manny.
Late Night, Graham Torrington. Every Sunday, I play the world's biggest love songs. To dedicate a song to the love of your life, email gt@bbc.co.uk. Late Night Graham Torrington, Sunday Love Songs.
I don't know how you do what you do. I'm so in love with you.
The perfect way to relax, Sunday night from 10 on BBC WM 95.6.
afternoon, Iain Lee, BBC WM 95.6. Throwing out any old nonsense and seeing what sticks. As always, call in about anything you want, but some of the things we've got. We've been talking about the gay cake. Who's got the biggest nose on TV? Who should you never be rude to? Poet laureates, Richard III, mobility scooters. Rick's on the M42. Good afternoon, Rick.
Good afternoon. I was on the 42. I'm not anymore because the traffic stationary around the M6 toll.
Hey, flip it. What is going on with our roads at this week?
I think we've probably got idiots out and about somehow. Anyway.
Yes.
You're on about big noses.
Yes, I am. I am, yes.
Barry Manilow.
Hey, Barry Manilow. Yeah, there's a classic. Although, I would say his nose has kind of been dwarfed by some of the more modern noses.
Well, if you look at it, it's actually got a bend in the middle. If you were to straighten it out, I think it would be really, really large.
Do you know what? I'm going to say this, Rick. I'm going to put my cards on the table, OK? I really like Barry Manilow.
You do?
I think he's brilliant. I think he is flipping brilliant. Could it be magic? I Made It Through the Rain, Bermuda Triangle, Mandy. Wonderful songs. Maybe not Bermuda Triangle.
And my mother-in-law likes him, so I'm not going any further on that one. And also, you were on about Richard III earlier, not in a humorous way.
No.
The bit that gets me
is...
OK, they dug him up in a car park.
Yeah.
Have the council tried getting sort of like late fees from him? So this is why they're going to be burying him in Leicester, so they can charge people to go and see him. But last weekend, they actually took him for a journey around Leicestershire and the villages. You know, why? Is he going to sit up in the middle of the lot and go, oh, hasn't it changed around here?
I do hope that he has been buried with a clamp attached to him and a pile of fines. Rick, thank you very much indeed. 03453 009956. Barry Manilow is brilliant, and I used to be a little bit of a music snob. I'm not anymore. If something, I would never mock anybody for liking any kind of music, apart from Coldplay, who are rubbish. Coldplay make music for people who don't like music. But Paul, you'd agree with me, wouldn't you? Barry Manilow's amazing.
What a nose he's got.
No, but forget the nose, for goodness sakes. You try and write a song like Mandy. You can't do it. You cannot do it.
Mobility scooters, mate, let me give you a little bit of a secret.
Go on then, Paul, go on.
I've just come back from a holiday in Benidorm.
Oh, yeah.
And in Benidorm, they've got double mobility scooters, one behind the other. And they are a nightmare. They parked everywhere. They've got secure holdings outside the hotels where they charge them overnight.
What?
And after 11 o'clock, when you've had a few bevies, they come down the road and they nearly take your legs off, I tell you.
And are they being driven by the disabled or by the fat and the lazy?
No, they're not disabled at all. Well, not the way they come out the bars and jump onto them, anyway.
I've seen them parked up outside boozers before. Now, of course, I'm not saying that disabled people shouldn't be allowed to have a drink. Of course they could. But you kind of get the impression that they're doing it just so that they can have a bevy. And then I don't know what the rules are on driving a mobility scooter drunk.
On the pavement in Benidorm at about midnight.
Yeah.
It's got to be banned, mate. It's got to be banned.
Well, if you go to, I don't know if you've ever been to Las Vegas, one of the worst places in the world. It is horrible there. But if you go into the casinos, they're surrounded by people in these buggies, large people, in these mobility scooters, driving between fruit machines, and it's just honestly, they drive from one fruit machine to another, to the buffet, to a fruit machine, because they can't be bothered to walk. Honestly.
I'm on my mobile. Police are on the way. Gotta go.
Oh, hey, whoa, hang on, Paul, please. Please, naughty Paul. Only call us when it's safe and indeed legal to do so, Paul. He was, of course, joking there. 03453 009956. It's true. I hate Vegas. I hate it. It's just one of them. I don't drink. I'm not massively into gambling, and I don't like prostitutes. Those are the three main things that are there. And huge people going from fruit machine to buffet to one-armed bandit to fruit machine, driving around on mobility scooters. 03453 009956. And can we find somebody brave enough in the next 30 minutes of the show to say, yes, Iain, we are brothers. I, too, think Barry Manilow is brilliant.
Your travel news in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Let's get the travel news. Here's Phil.
There's long delays on the northbound side of the M6 because of an accident that's currently blocking 2 lanes between junction 7 for Great Bar and junction 8 for the M5. Looking at the sensors, the queues start from junction 6 at the Aston Expressway. Also looking very congested on the southbound side of the M6 from junction 10A at the M54 through to junction 8 for the M5 because of the roadworks that are in place there. On the northbound M42, there was an accident earlier on around junction 9 for the M6 toll and Coles Hill, which has been recovered, but it's still looking quite congested on that northbound side. Also looking at the M5, those delays on the northbound side of the M6 having an impact as you travel up towards the M6 from around junction 1 for West Brom. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 travel on 0330 123 3550.
On FM.
Freeview, digital radio,
and online.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Now, dear listener, is an excellent time to give us a call. 03453 009956. We'll speak after the news with Charlotte Harriman.
A Dusseldorf hospital says the co-pilot of the airliner which crashed into the Alps, killing all 150 people on board, had been a patient there for the last 2 months. In a statement, the hospital says that Andreas Lubitz last came to the hospital for diagnostic evaluation on March the 10th. It's declined to provide details about his condition, but have denied German media reports that it had treated the 27-year-old pilot for depression. A British military healthcare worker who contracted Ebola while working in Sierra Leone has been discharged from a London hospital. Corporal Anna Cross was given an experimental drug to fight the virus. A West Midlands commuter is hoping that a train station's defunct southbound platform can be brought back into use. Polesworth is one of the few stations in Britain which only runs in one direction, as only the northbound platform is in use. And Wolverhampton City Council says it will match a £150,000 Sport England grant to refurbish the city's central baths. The baths were saved from threat of closure last year, and work on the refurbishment could start later this year. Taking a look at the weather, sunny spells this afternoon, highs of 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Some showers about tonight with the wind picking up. Temperatures dipping down to 5 degrees Celsius, 41 degrees Fahrenheit. And more rain tomorrow morning, but drying out by the afternoon. Temperatures at 14 degrees Celsius, 57 degrees Fahrenheit. That's your news for the West Midlands. It's now coming up to 32 minutes past 3.
Have our ways of facing rainy days, and somehow we survive. We keep the feelings warm, protect them from the storm, until our time arrives. Then one day the sun appears, and we come shining through those lonely years. I made it through the rain, I kept my world protected. I made it through the rain, I kept my point of view. I made it through the rain and found myself respected by the others who rained on too and made it through. When friends are hard to find and life seems so unkind, sometimes you feel afraid. Just aim beyond the clouds and rise above the crowds and start your own parade. 'Cause when I chased my fears away, that's when I knew that I could finally say I made it through the rain. I kept my world protected. I made it through the rain. I kept my point of view. I made it through the rain and found myself respected by the others who got rained on too and made it through. I made it through the rain. I kept my world protected. I made it through the rain. I kept my point of view. I made it through the rain and found myself respected by the others who got rained on too and made it through. And made it through. I made it
Come on, guys. Oh, Barry Manilow, he's rubbish. Oh, he's so... You try writing a song like that. Go on. I dares ya. I dares ya. You can't do it. Oh, man. I'm not wrong, am I, Lucy?
Well, to know it went on a bit.
What did you mean it went on a bit? That was epic. That was epic. Come on, he's
Well.
good. What music do you like, Luce?
Oh, I don't think you'd like things that I like. I'm into my metal, Ian.
Oh, go on, give us some.
Oh, I don't, things like Soulfly and Metallica.
Oh,
You know that.
you like the hardcore stuff. Do you like Iron Maiden?
I never was really a big fan.
Okay, well that's that conversation cul-de-sac
Well, it was
excavated.
yeah, but any band that encourages the wearing of very tight blue trousers with trainers, white trainers, just
Come
you
on,
know.
it's a good look, and it should have caught on more.
No.
Lucy, you've called in about big noses.
Yes, I did. Well, slightly big noses, but Jimmy Nail. Now he's got a big nose.
He's got a massive Nahuta, yes.
He has.
Yes.
But there's a dog that looks like Jimmy Nail.
What? A Jimmy Nail dog, you're telling me?
A Jimmy Nail dog.
Where the hell does this Jimmy Nail dog live?
Well, it's a Russian dog. It's called a borzoi. And if you Google it and look at it and look at a picture of Jimmy Nail, I'm telling you,
Borzoi
it looks
dog.
just like Jimmy Nail.
We're going to find out. Let's find the image for a Borzoi dog. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It looks exactly like Jimmy Nail. Slightly less grumpy, Lucy.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that. It does look like Jimmy Nail. Slightly less grumpy. I've had cause to know Jimmy Nail. I say no. I met him for a weekend. No, not a weekend. That sounds seedy. We didn't lock ourselves in a hotel room and just order room service and until we were, No. Anyway, it's a boring story. But that dog looks like Jimmy Nail. 03453 00 9956. Nobody has been able to sell Richard III to me. Ignore the rhyming slang aspect of his name. Nobody. And I have spoken to people across the country about Richard III, and not one person has gone, yeah, no, I can get it, I understand it, I know why he's brilliant. And I don't get it. I don't understand Can somebody explain to me the fascination of Richard III? It's a fella that died 500 years ago. He's been buried in a car park. Who gives a stuff? Really? 03453 009956. Chris says, Ian, I hope you're not kidding. I think Manilow is great. No, I'm not kidding. I'm being completely straight with this. I think that Barry Manilow is wonderful. I'm a bit of a secret fanilo. I think he's brilliant. I'll tell you what else I think is brilliant. And the papers are trying to make this sound like a bad thing. And I don't know why, because to me, this sounds perfect. Sun investigation. Right? Double page spread. Health chiefs fueling fat crisis. What are these health chiefs doing to fuel this fat crisis? Let's read on and find out more, shall we? Yes. Clutching his colostomy bag. What a start to an item. What a start. Clutching his colostomy bag, an elderly man queues up to order a greasy Burger King meal in a hospital. I'll stop you there, the son. Burger King, they're not greasy. They're spot on, Burger King. Lining up behind him are doctors and nurses also waiting for their whoppers. This is the shocking scene inside Adam Brooks in Cambridge, where the chain has an outlet. Oh, have we got texts? Oh, fantastic. Look at that. Thank you very much indeed. It's like I've got a team or something working with me. It's not the only hospital where patients order junk food while the country battles an obesity epidemic. Last week it emerged, and this is where we get local and vocal, guys. Last week it emerged that the second busiest Greggs bakery in the country is the branch in New Cross Hospital, Wolverhampton. Now, Doreen.
Hi there.
I don't have a problem with these fast food restaurants opening up in hospitals.
No, mate.
If you want to give...
They'll have it whether it's in the hospital or outside.
Exactly, Doreen. And also, don't give the patients cruddy food. If you're going to give them cruddy food and not enough food...
They're going to go somewhere else.
They're going to go somewhere.
People take sandwiches in, don't they, to people?
Warrington Hospital. It's got a Subway. Southampton General.
I found up about Richard III.
I know, we're having a conversation, Doreen.
All right, let's get the hospital thing
It's called a conversation.
OK, darling.
Yeah? All right, my love?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Southampton. I'm going on. You interrupted again?
Yes.
OK. Southampton General's got a Burger King.
Well, good luck to him.
New Cross Hospital.
Don't make a few, Bob.
Yeah, just bear with me. Just bear with me 1 second. Ranjit, you've been on already today.
Hiya.
Yeah, you've been on already.
I just want to say hello to Doreen.
No, Ranjit.
Hello, Ranjit.
Ranjit.
Hello, Doreen.
Ranjit, you've been on already today.
Hey, listen.
I'm cutting him off. He's been on already. The Sun found that Greggs customers could get 4 sausage rolls for £2.40 each, with 25 grams of fat, 3 donuts for £1, each with 8 grams of fat. MPs this week. Oh, flipping MPs. MPs, go and spend your expenses on like pottery for your blind cat. MPs this week called for a ban on the fast food outlets, denouncing hospitals as negligent for allowing them to operate in places that are meant to promote good health. Oh, do me a favour, MPs.
How do they know what people are bringing into the place?
Exactly.
Somebody could probably get some fish and chips from Aunt Ranjit's shop.
Go and spend your expenses buying yourself calipers for your budgerigard. You know what I mean? Keep out of this. If I want to have a Greggs dummy while I'm nursing a broken leg, then I'll have a Greggs dummy, Doreen.
Sometimes it does you good if you're a bit down to have something that you shouldn't have. It gives you a bit of a lift.
Last Saturday, here we go. Last Saturday, Doreen, I went to a Burger King, right? And I had a double Whopper. So it's like a Whopper but with 2 burgers in it, fries and onion rings. And do you know what? I felt flipping brilliant afterwards.
But it's only one off. You ain't going to have it every day.
I'm not going to have it every day. I'm not going to have it every day, am I?
No.
No.
If it's a one-off.
It's only...
Like I know somebody that won't eat cream or custard because it hasn't got soya milk, and there's nothing wrong with them. But to me, I said, well, you're nearly 90. I shouldn't worry you,
You
right?
want any cream or custard?
Have what you like.
Ian, what do you want to say?
Ian, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Ian.
Good. My granddad was in hospital a few years ago in Walsgrave in Coventry, and the food was absolutely atrocious, and he hadn't eaten a burger for, well, ever.
Yeah.
And there's a drive-through up the road, and we used to have to take him in Happy Meals.
Oh,
and he was 70-odd. So I think it's far better to have the McDonald's on site. It just cuts down on the aggravation.
It is. My mum was in hospital quite a few years ago now, and she was starving. And she said, Ian, could you smuggle in a McDonald's? And we went and got a Mackie D's.
Exactly. And also, you get people who are desperate for a drink. There should be a bar downstairs sometimes.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, of course, there should be almost a private club downstairs. But I've got it. Doreen and Ian, I've worked it out, okay? I've actually worked it out. Tell me what you think about this, right? So, hospital food is a bit rubbish. Some places is all right, but generally it's a bit rubbish. So, if you just want your bog standard free hospital food, perfect, you get what you're given. But then they bring a menu round where you can order and pay for better food.
I didn't know that.
No.
Oh, you could do that. I'm with you.
That's the idea, Ian. Ian, could you explain it to Doreen a bit better?
Yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Have you got it now, Doreen?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm with you.
you basically got a bog standard. Here's your cottage pie that was, made last week.
Yep.
Or have a Chinese.
Have a Chinese, but you've got to pay for it.
But
You've got to
Ian,
pay for it.
Yes, Doreen.
you know, at the restaurants in the hospitals, I went to the orthopaedic last year, and I'll tell you this, the meals in the restaurant where, you could, people visiting there could have a meal, was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, great calls, guys. Have we finished?
No, I'm on about Richard III.
Oh,
You
Ian.
can't get your head round it.
Ian, you listen to Doreen talking about Richard III.
Well, I think
I'm going to read. I'm just going to read my emails, Doreen. You talk to
Okay.
Ian. Go on.
I think it's wonderful that they've actually found a body, and the Fascinic people have traced it back to Richard III. It's like the Staffordshire hoard. To think that it's been under the ground for how many years? And all of a sudden,
600
and like the Staffordshire hoard, all that silver and gold they found. I think it's a wonderful achievement, really. It's
Yeah, but
something you
all that
never
money
thought
being
they'd
spent,
find.
all that money being spent on burying a few old bones, isn't it a bit over the top?
Well, I don't know whether it cost that much, did it?
Oh yeah, it's cost a huge amount.
I
Of money.
didn't know that. I haven't heard the cost, so I can't comment.
Yeah, no,
But,
it's a bit of a waste of
Have
money.
you two finished yet, or you got a bit more
It's
to
a bit
go?
of pageantry, isn't it?
Have you finished, or a bit more to go?
No, I'll
What are you up to the weekend, Doreen?
Pardon?
What are you up to the weekend?
Well, if weather permitting, I was going to do a bit of gardening. But I don't think the weather's going to be a bit inclement, so I might pop me sweet peas up.
Oh, okay. Well, it's better on Saturday, not so good on Sunday, apparently.
Have you finished now?
Yes, dear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
you finished,
I'm all
Ian?
done. Thanks very much.
Ta-ta. Bye-bye.
The Football Phone-In with Paul Franks.
Football and the Pulis isn't entertaining. Do me a favour.
It took me back to the 60s and 70s today, that did.
You go man for man with the Villa squad. You can't tell me that they're not a better team.
I don't need this in my life. I love this football club.
What would you do then to make sure the players are relaxed?
I'd probably do another Brian Clough and get him down the pub.
The Football Phone-In with Paul Franks.
Have your say with the legends. Weeknights from 6
on BBC WM 95.6.
Whatever happened to the boy next door? The suntan crew cut all sand from July to the end of September. Surfing was fun, we'd be out in the sun every day. I never thought that it would end. And I was everybody's friend. Long, hard days, blue sea haze, jukebox plays, but now it's fading away. We couldn't wait for graduation day. Oh no, we took the car and drove to San Jose. Oh, that's where you told me that you wear my ring. I guess you don't remember anything. Beach baby, give me your hand, give me something that I can remember. Just like before, we could walk by the shore in the moonlight. Beach baby, there on the sand from July to the end of September. Surfing was fun, we'd be out in the sun every day.
Nearly the end of this show, dear listener. But. Paul Franks at 4, and I shall be back tomorrow at 10. Spoiler alert coming up, guys. Spoiler alert. So, on my list of films to watch is it's part of the song. I wondered what that was then for a second. How unprofessional. How unprofessional, David.
Yeah, terrible.
Terrible. Now, listen, on my list, spoiler alert coming up, David.
Go on.
On my list of films to watch is the movie Gone Girl. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. Do you want to see it?
No.
Okay. Oh. Why?
I'm not really into movies, really.
Sorry?
No.
What do you mean, how can you not be into movies?
Rubbish special effects, too much CGI nowadays.
Well, watch a film that hasn't got special effects or CGI in.
Yeah.
Oh, you hadn't thought of that? Anyway.
Oh, no.
No?
Yeah, I thought of it.
What was the last film you watched?
At the cinema.
Ever?
Well, at the cinema, the last one I swore, with a single female sat next to me.
Sorry? Was that the name of the film, or there was someone?
No, it was Star Wars Episode 2.
Flipping it. When was that? 15 years ago?
Yeah, probably, yeah. I don't really get
And there was a single female sat next to you?
There was, yeah. She was sat on her own watching the film, and when Jar Jar Binks come on the screen, I can't repeat what I said.
Did you do the popcorn trick on her?
No.
Good. So, Gone Girl was on my list of films to see. Right, it's a thriller.
Right, okay.
Right. Until I opened the Daily Mail at page 41, and it's a spoiler alert, by the way, guys. I have warned you several times. Is this the real-life Gone Girl? Blonde and boyfriend are accused of faking kidnap, just like the hit movie plot. So they've just given me the twist of the film.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's blooming terrible. I'm furious.
It's awful.
It's worse than awful.
Someone should keep the big nose out of it.
They should keep their big noses out of it.
Yeah.
David, what you got for us?
Alan Prost, big nose.
Who's Alan Prost?
The Formula One driver.
The Formula One driver.
Massive conk with...
How can you tell behind that helmet?
Well, he had to have a special helmet made, or gather, I don't know.
Come on, no one has ever had a special helmet made for their big nose, have they?
They must have done, I don't know.
I suppose so, actually. They probably have.
Anyway, Roger Ramjet.
By the way, can I just say, I think a big nose on a woman is quite sexy. Barbara Streisand, anybody?
What's the swimmer?
Sharon Davis, anybody?
No, the other swimmer.
Oh, not Pendleton. She rode bikes.
Swimmer.
I know. I'm trying to think of her
Ride
name.
a bike in the swimming pool.
Although, wouldn't that be a great Olympic sport?
Wouldn't it?
Underwater cycling?
Yeah, bring it in.
That would actually be brilliant. Underwater cycling. Tomorrow, we're combining Olympic sports to make one good Olympic sport, OK?
That'd be great.
Rebecca Addleston. Addlewood.
That's the one,
That's the
yeah.
fella. Yeah, and then she had her nose made smaller because of the bullying she got.
Yeah, which is a shame. Yeah.
I thought that was terrible.
Oh,
And also, and I say this, and I mean this seriously, and this isn't a cheap shot, right? If she's a swimmer, surely if you change any part of your body, that's going to affect wind resist or water resistance. That's going to change your speed, isn't it?
It could do, yeah.
Well, it would do, surely.
You could sharpen it up a bit, make it,
You could do the backstroke. It'd be like a jaws fin. I'm joking there.
Well, backstroke, no, the nose would be sticking out the water, wouldn't it?
Oh, look, people are getting stroppy now because of what I've said about hospital food.
Oh, dear.
Chris, what you forget is hospital food is free. It is not a restaurant. The meals are priced at pence per portion. What the heck do you expect, man? Your idea of if you want restaurant quality, then get your wallet out. Damn fine idea. Not practical considering the hundreds of patients. Well, the thing is, Chris, it's been scientifically proven that eating better food gets you healthier quicker. So it would be an investment to have better food. It will get people out of hospital beds quicker. Anyway.
That's correct.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Listen to this. Listen to this, David.
Yes.
It's an anonymous text. I love this show, lol. You are so similar to Clarkson. A bit of a knob, but I quite like you. What? You can't text that into me.
Now, I reckon Clarkson might do some voiceovers for the cat show thing.
Yeah, he could do, couldn't he?
He could.
He'll be all right. He's got millions in the bank
Anyway,
and ITV.
Roger Ramjet.
Yes, David, the point of your phone call. Yes, please, sir. Thank you, sir.
I reckon he was ringing in, maybe, because you wouldn't let him speak, to offer you a job next Friday as you're not working.
Look, the chippy.
Yeah, working in his chippy for the night.
Never going to work in a chippy, fella. I had friends who worked in the chippy. Yes, they got free chips. Yes, they got free chips. They stank of the cheap oil that Ranjit no doubt bathes in as well as cooks his chips in.
Yeah, but he does kebabs as well. You could have a kebab.
I haven't had a kebab for 26 years. And I nearly had one. Because I've been a vegetarian, and it's been a year since I started eating meat again, right? And
Come down.
Sorry?
Come down, boy.
Ranjit, go away.
No, come down. Our chips don't smell.
You've been on... Ranjit, please go away.
This is a hat trick.
Please go away.
Does he do dandy burgers?
I don't know. I hope he does pucker pies. But I very nearly last week, and do you know what? I think I might do it tonight for my supper. Might have my first kebab in 26 years.
Oh, yeah, you got to.
Do you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do, David.
They're awful, but when you've had a couple of beers...
You want chilli sauce? Of course I want chilli sauce, my friend.
No, you've got to say it properly. Chilli sauce, salad.
David, listen, thank you very much indeed. Well, that's tonight's meal sorted out. I'm having my first kebab in 26 years. And tomorrow, if I'm well enough, I'll be on the air at 10 o'clock. That's it. That's your lot, guys. Thank you very much for your texts and emails. I can't read that, that's rude. If you want to email me, you can, ian.lee@bbc.co.uk. Here every Friday between 2 and 4. More importantly, back tomorrow, bright and early at 10 o'clock after the gardening phone-in with the excellent Molly.
Your travel news in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Paul's coming up next, but first of all, let's get the travel news. Here's Phil.
There are severe delays on the northbound side of the M6. They start from Junction 6 for the Aston Expressway towards Junction 8 for the M5 because of an accident blocking 2 lanes. It's having a knock-on effect to the Aston Expressway, which is queuing from Dartmouth Circus all the way out towards the M6 at Junction 6. There's also very slow-moving traffic on the southbound side of the M6 from Junction 10A at the M54 towards Junction 8 for the M5 because of roadworks. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 Travel on 0330 123 3550.
On FM.
Freeview, digital radio.
And online.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
4 o'clock on BBC WM. Good afternoon. Let's get the main news with Chris Blakemore.